My name is Alan, and on behalf of my co-host Wistancia and the crew of the show and the staff of KCTV, I'd like to welcome you all to another show of Bridging Heaven and Earth. We have a really exciting show tonight. We have a wonderful poetess, Christal Rivers, and a singer-songwriter, Marilynn, and we have just a chock-full show tonight. I mean, we're singing and poetry and stories and pictures, and we're really excited about it. And so first I'd like to thank everyone who's been calling in and writing letters, thanking us for doing this show and giving beautiful suggestions for us, and we really appreciate that. And continue to do it. We really read everything and listen to all the calls, and we try to get back to everybody too. So we should really start off, as we try to do on every show, with an invocation from Wistancia, and then she'll lead us in a short meditation. So here's Wistancia.
Thank you. Thanks, Alan. And so tonight, we honor our Father in heaven and our Mother on earth. And we send a special tribute out now to all of the angels, to the angelic realms that work with the earth, for they work with all the physical ones on earth and the non-physical ones. They work with the humans and the animals and the air and the earth. And we honor them, the angels and the archangels. We call forth to all of the angels who are assigned to us at our birth, and to those that we have picked up along the way. We are not alone. Angels are God's presence everywhere. They are a gift to mankind. And so tonight we call forth to each of the archangels by name, asking for faith from Michael, asking for illumination and wisdom from Yophiel, asking for the gratitude and the divine love of Hamuel. And we ask for the resurrection energies of Gabriel and the healing of Raphael. And we ask for the peace of that one who is known as the Dove of Peace, Archangel Uriel. And we also ask Lord Zadkiel, he who brings the energies of ascension and transformation into this time that is so important. And so we call these energies into this room, wherever you are sitting in your homes. We call them into our heart. We ask to be flooded and overlit by the angels, for tonight we have a special tribute to the angels. And we also call forth to the angel within each of us. We ask that our higher selves be illuminated, that we come to know who and what we are, for we are all great, magnificent beings. And so as we open to receive the love of the divine beings, we ourselves are divine, and we ask to know that and to know it deeper. And so maybe we can move into our hearts now, into silence, invoking the silence, moving into meditation together, linking heart to heart. And we send our light like rays down into the center of the earth, and we send our light up into the heavens, so we are grounded. And now I'd like to get ready for a clip. We have an angel clip coming up, and in the background you will hear a beautiful earth angel singing. Her name is Marilynn, and she's one of our guests. And the name of the song is Peace Be Still. And so in just a moment, I believe this will be queued up and we'll be able to see it. And so here we go.
There's an ocean surrounding me. Mostly the water is calm. Just enough breeze to keep me sailing. I feel safe and warm. But angry waves grow suddenly. How this world seems to threaten me. But then I hear that still soft voice. It says to me, peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still to the wind and the waves. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still, and the ocean obeys. There is an ocean inside my heart. Mostly the water is calm. Just enough breeze to keep me sailing. I feel safe and warm. But hurting winds blow suddenly, and I become a churning sea. But then the master speaks with pure authority. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still to the wind and the waves. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still, and the ocean obeys. But angry waves grow suddenly. How this world can threaten me. But then I hear that still soft voice. It says to me, peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still to the wind and the waves. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still, and the ocean obeys.
Back. That was so beautiful. So I'm sitting here with Marilynn, the singer.
Songwriter.
Songwriter and singer. And with Christal, who you'll get a chance to meet really soon when she does her poetry. And maybe we can just talk to Marilynn for a minute about the songs, the music, how you got started. Wasn't it when you were really little? You were a little girl and you started
Well, actually, I
singing?
started performing at age 3 in
that's little.
gospel music in
Yeah.
the church, and sang professionally growing up, and in clubs, and did a lot of jazz and blues and rock and kind of earned my dues. And then I retired from that because it didn't make me feel good anymore. And the music really just died in me.
How long ago was that?
That was 7 years ago.
Sounds like a song. Sounds like a country and western song, don't you?
Yeah.
And there I was laying in the ground.
So
They didn't test my singing my ear. For good
You haven't
reason.
been discovered yet.
No.
So what
For good
happened? What
reason.
was
Well,
your resurrection?
I think I had a shift in my energy, and right before 11/11, I was given a song. I feel like Spirit gave it to me, and I was looking for someone to sing it. I never thought of myself singing it. I don't know why that sounds kind of odd now, but I really was not connected to it enough to sing,
Yeah.
and couldn't find anyone to do it, so I had to sing it. And anyway, so now that's what I do. I write songs about raising mankind's consciousness, and I go around and sing for people and sing about the angels and about the energy that we all have access to, and I love it. It's
How do you
different.
get in touch with that for you? What's your way?
Meditation. I think the energy is there for all of us now, more so than ever before, to access. But meditation, I think, is what brought it in for me.
Now, is that how you and Christal met at a meditation or some sort of an ascension
Yes.
workshop?
Yes,
It is.
Did you hit it off as sisters?
We were
Angels?
roommates.
We didn't know that the gifts of the other, actually, and we ended up being roommates. We were both out of town for this workshop, and so I never heard her sing. She never heard my poetry. And yet we really connected at the heart. We enjoyed each other very much. We lived fairly close together. And what brought us together was our work. Really brought us together.
So when did the poetry start welling up in you, as they say?
I was also very young. I think from the time I was very little, I would say what came out of my heart, not knowing I wasn't supposed to, or it wasn't appropriate. And as I got older and I would write, my teachers would talk to my parents and said, please encourage her to write. She has a gift. And it was natural for me, and I enjoyed it very much, just saying what was true for me.
So you were writing in school?
Writing in school, and it would just come. I didn't sit down and try and make things rhyme. I didn't try and figure out what to say. It would just come very easily.
Christal, did you fit in? Did you guys fit in school? Because I was a
No.
misfit. I was a misfit. Were you?
I didn't
lot
fit
of us-
in. I thought there was something very wrong with me. Very wrong, that I couldn't be like everyone else. And now I don't feel that way.
Right.
I'm still not like anyone else.
Well, we are and we're not.
Yeah.
You know, because the oneness is happening more and more, and then we're feeling this unity,
Yes.
unity
The
consciousness, I guess I call it.
Yeah.
And,
Kindred spirit, very
yeah.
much. My own kind. No longer the ugly duckling in my sense of ugly duckling.
Yeah. Yeah, wonderful.
So did you ever lose the poetry?
Did
Like
I-
she lost the song? Did you go through a period
I went
where
through a
like,
period where my writing was getting in touch with myself. Oftentimes we feel things and we don't even know how deeply we are affected by something until we sit down and write, maybe to the other person we would like to say something to. And so we write it down. We may never say it to that person, but it gets us in touch with our true feelings. It gets us in touch with ourselves and allows us to let go of those feelings that keep us from really letting our heart be filled with joy.
so in a way you never had like a losing of something, then like a rebirth of it? You, like your whole life you'd been,
My whole life,
was just,
particularly when I was about 14, I think I knew I was starting on a journey of self-discovery.
Puberty.
Yes.
that was a journey.
Yes, it was interesting. I felt very different. In high school, I carried around the Prophet by Khalil Gibran, and there was my kindred spirit, and he wasn't even on the planet. So what was I to do? But his poetry, his writing was so much in alignment with my heart that I knew that what I had to say was maybe important to someone else as well. And so I'm encouraged to write and share that with others.
You know, we found out through talking on the phone that we have a really lot in common. And even 20 years ago or so, we had the same teacher of meditation, and I thought that she was, and Al and all three of us were on a similar path of meditation at that time. Yeah, and that was neat to find that out. Yeah.
Well, it's a search of the heart.
Okay, why don't we take the time now to just get ready, because I think Christal will get up and do some poetry for us, do a reading, and that will be exciting. So we're just going to be waiting for that, and she's going to read 4 poems. And I'm really excited. I haven't really heard her do a poetry. I heard the story that she's going to do later, but the poetry I haven't heard. So I'm pretty excited about it. And any minute she'll be ready. She's fixing her dress, and as we speak, she's all set. So take it over. Go ahead, Christal.
It's such an honor to be here. I want to thank all of you for being here and for tuning in. We all tune in inside. So with that, I will share this poem entitled Votive Prayer. In silence I pray. In silence I listen. In silence you come and enter the sanctuary of my heart. And there we are silent together. Blessed Mother Earth, here I stand, O Mother Earth. Please take me into thy womb. Fill me with your wisdom and strength. Warm me with your sun. Nurture my soul with the flowing rivers of your love. Lift me up into your heavens that I may know your grace. Help me to shine like the moon and the stars with quiet dignity. Allow me to lie down to rest in the softness of your earth, that I may know humility. Wrap me in your arms of golden grasslands to soothe my restlessness. Attune me with the songs of the morning lark and the nightingale, that I may speak with clarity in my heart. These things I ask of you, so that I may be worthy to be called a child of yours. To be kissed. God placed his lips upon my heart, gently leaving a kiss, which blossomed into the sweetest love within me, to comfort me all of my days and nights. When I close my eyes, I can see the golden light that shines within, and feel the presence of my divine, beloved God. A tear forms and falls upon my cheek, kissing me once again. I feel such sweetness as it slowly flows across my face, like the moon crossing the endless sky. How tender the kiss of God is. How blessed am I to be kissed. How would one know? How would one know the nightingale sang so sweetly if it did not open its mouth and sing its heart's song? How would one know the grace of the swan if it did not lift its wings and take flight? How would one know the beauty and fragrance of the rose and the lotus flower if they did not bloom and share their essence? We each must fully be that which we are truly, and unfold from within to emanate the light of God's love from which we were created.
Thank you so much, Christal. That was so beautiful. Really beautiful. Now, Amanda Sanchez, a photographer here in Santa Barbara, sent us some beautiful, beautiful photographs of sky and clouds. And so we are going to show that little clip now. I think it's called Clouds or Sky. And so if we're ready, we'd like to go to it right now. Thank you.
Okay, well, it is my honor now to have Marilynn sing two songs right here in the studio. She's going to sing them, and I'm really excited to hear her. and one she wrote and one is by the judge, and I think you'll know which one because one was a pretty big hit. So Marilynn, take her away.
Thank you. You are a body of light. That is the way God sees you. Sacred symbols and colors. You're a beautiful form. And in your body of light, you can move through matter, conquer ego's illusions. Remember who you are. Oh, just imagine shining with Christ radiance, shining with Christ radiance, with your heart all aglow. And if you feel it, close your eyes and feel it, and our eyes will open, and we'll see all we are. You are a body of light, and it's your source of power. Connects to one another, connects to all that is. You are a body of light, and you must learn to use it to transmute the darkness, to create with love. Oh, just imagine shining with Christ radiance, shining with Christ radiance, with our hearts all aglow. And if you feel it, close your eyes and feel it, and our eyes will open. As above, so below. As above, so below. We are a body of light. That is the way God made us. Didn't make the chaos, didn't make the pain. We are a body of light, and we must move it upward, move it always upward into the mind of God. Oh, just imagine shining with Christ radiance, shining with Christ radiance, with our hearts all aglow. And if you feel it, close your eyes and feel it, and our eyes will open. Going home, going home. We're going home. We're going home, going home. Going home. We're going home. With no shoes on your feet, to share with me the love and light and heal the pain I feel. Would you swim out to save me in my sea of broken dreams? When all my hope is fading, will you show me what love means? Love can build a bridge.
between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? We must whisper love so loudly every heart can understand that love and only love can join the tribes of man. We must live our heart's desire so that everyone can see. The first thing is to realize it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between God's world and ours. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Because when we stand together, it's our finest hour to create anything, anything, if we keep believing in the power between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think that when we stand together, it's our finest hour to create anything, anything, if we keep believing in the power between God's world and ours. Love can build a bridge, and we know it's time, and we know it's time. We know it's time. We know it's time.
Wow, it's certainly time for Marilynn to shake the world up. That was so beautiful. I was trying to sing. Actually, that would be a perfect song for our show. Maybe we could talk to the judges about that. And moving right along, we now have Christal, and she is going to be telling a story. And this story is really special. Her mother illustrated the pictures that are going with the story, and she wrote the story. And it's a beautiful story. It's all about angels, about one particular angel. And so we're going to just turn it over to Christal now. Okay.
Angel of the light. One very special night, When the sadness of the children became more than they could bear, a sweet voice gently whispered upon a breeze and spoke to the children while they were dreaming. "Why are you crying, my dear children, in the stillness of the night?" Through their tears they sadly replied, "We are fearful about our future, and our hope is far from sight." Then a small golden sphere of light began to grow in the sky. It grew larger and larger and brighter and brighter. Within this light appeared a beautiful young girl with golden flowing hair and bright blue eyes that glistened like the sun. She smiled sweetly and said, "Weep no more, dear children. I am Etheria, an angel of the light. Your hearts have called me here to guide you, so know that everything will be all right." Now you know, when children are dreaming, they can do whatever they believe they can do. So the children began to rise up from their beds and fly towards the angel of light, where they all gathered together in one place. The children watched as Etheria slowly descended from the sky and stood before them. They had never been with a real live angel before, and they had many questions to ask her. "You are an angel of the light? Where's your halo and silver wings?" Etheria sweetly replied, "In my service here, I do not need them, for I use love and other things." Then one boy spoke out. "Could you help us save the world? Is there anything you can do?" "Yes, but I cannot do it alone," she replied. "I will need each one of you." A girl with a worried look in her face said, "But we don't know what to do, though. We told you at the start." Etheria placed her hand on her heart and said, "The answer lies within you. It's the love within your heart." The children each began putting their hands on their hearts and looked around to see if anyone could find the love. An older boy with tears in his eyes said, "We can't find the love inside us. We lost touch with it long ago." Etheria said, "It has always been there within you, and like a seed, with care will grow." A little girl walked right up to Etheria and asked, "Can you show us where to find it? When will you teach us how?" The angels smiled at all their hopeful faces and said, "You need not wait any longer. The time to start is now." The children began to converse and giggle and jump about with excitement. After a few minutes, Etheria sat down. She opened her arms to all the children, and they gathered closer to her and sat in anticipation. Etheria instructed them by saying, "Now relax and close your eyes. Please listen to what I have to say, so you will remember what I tell you and can practice it every day." Each child closed their eyes and listened carefully to Etheria's message. She spoke with the sweetest sounding voice they had ever heard and said, "Inside the very heart of you, there is already a powerful light, and when you gaze upon it, it will dispel the darkest night. The more you look upon it, the more your love will grow. Others will ask, how you do it, for they too will want to know. As Etheria spoke, she placed one hand on her heart and stretched the other one out towards the children. A light began to emanate from her outstretched hand and touched all the hearts of the children. For you are really earth angels, a pure drop of the source of light, and you can lead others out of their darkness of the night. Slowly, a soft golden light began to appear from the heart of each child. As their inner light grew brighter, the children began to smile. Your love will be like a beacon to lost ships upon the sea, to help them find their way back home, where they can finally be free. And when you've all united, hand in hand and one by one, the world will be at peace again, and my work will then be done. Their smiles broadened and grew into laughter. Then every child slowly opened their eyes and saw a beautiful light glowing out of themselves and each other. They all began hugging each other and Etheria. After a short while, Etheria stood up. The children stood up too. She looked deeply into everyone's eyes and kissed each one of them on the forehead, filling them with even more love, and said, "Go now, enjoy this gift that was never really mine to give, for it was placed inside of you so that you could even live." They began to feel a little sad again and pleaded, "Etheria, please don't leave. You've saved us from a fate we did not know. You've given us faith and hope again, and made our love light glow." Etheria began to grow brighter and brighter and larger until she was large enough to put her arms around all the children at once. She comforted them by saying, "I will be with you always, my dear ones, for you have opened your hearts up wide, and when you want to be with me again, touch your heart and feel my love inside." Then Angel Etheria gently opened her arms, and with her smiling face looking at the children, she began ascending into the heavens. All the children blew her kisses goodbye and watched the sphere of golden light vanish into the night. They then noticed how much light was still around them and that they themselves were beginning to rise up into the sky. They knew it was time to go back home and help Etheria with her work. The children hugged each other and knew they would be together again. They waved goodbye and were soon back in their own snuggly little beds. The tears of hopelessness and sorrow that once had filled their eyes are now tears of joy and laughter that glisten like celestial skies.
Thank you, Christal. That was so beautiful. And that last picture with the heart and the eyes, it was so beautiful. Didn't you like that? So calming.
I'll tell you, I mean, I don't know, people have watched the show a little bit, but I mean, after the song and the story, I'm almost speechless, I mean, which is a rare occurrence.
That's a first.
So why don't you tell us a little about, we have this thing coming up that Christal's going to read some poetry she did, and then Marilynn has put it, or is going to sing it, or
Right.
something. Why don't you explain? You know that, but I'm speechless. Like,
Well, actually, I think maybe Christal, why don't you put it together, because you know this. Yeah.
Well, it is very magical. I had this poem actually almost said to me like an angel speaking it into my ear. And I felt very moved to write it down. And I had the poem for quite some time, and I would read it from time to time. I've even read it to someone as they were going through transition from this life into the next dimension. And I had a concert in my home one night, and Marilynn came to hear the concert. And before the concert, I recited this poem. And for Marilynn, when she heard the poem, she said she heard the music coming in, actually sung to the music, the poem. And so she asked me for a copy of the poem, and I gave it to her, and the next thing we knew, she had created this incredible song. But first, I'd like to read you the poem, because it came from the angels. Inside my wings. Inside my wings, I enfold you, ever knowing who you are. A child of light, a child of love, visiting here from afar. Rest now, my child. Feel my heart merge with yours as my breath breathes light into your soul. Close your eyes and see with the sight that comes from within. You are safe here with me. Let your thoughts come to rest. Allow the light to carry you now with me into the vastness of the night sky. I will hold you next to me so you can let go of all that holds you here in doubt or fear. Together we will go. Together we will feel God's grace around us, through us, in us, as us. Our journey begins now.
So now we will get ready to hear Marilynn singing this incredible poem. It's that poem was like a meditation. It was so beautiful, so calming. You know, I know we're saying the same words, you know, beautiful, beautiful, but really, you know, I just feel like this hour, you know, I'm sure that the angels are with us and that they're watching and that they're listening, and I know that they're smiling. And so maybe we can just turn it over to Marilynn now, and while Kevin cues up the tape, and just get ready for another one.
Inside my wings, I enfold you, ever knowing who you are. A child of light, a child of love, visiting here from afar. Rest now, my child. Rest and feel my heart merge with yours. Rest as my breath breathes light into your soul, your soul. Close your eyes and see with the sight from within. Rest now. Rest now, my child. I will hold you next to me so you can let go to the things that hold you here, the doubt and the fear. Together we will rise to feel God's grace. The journey begins now. Inside my wings I enfold you, ever knowing who you are. A child of light, a child of love, visiting here from afar. Safe now, my child. Safe, you're safe here with me. Let your thoughts come to rest. Safe, all the light will lift you now with me, with me. To the vast sky, to the vast night sky. You're safe now. You're safe now with me. I will hold you next to me so you can let go to the things that hold you here, the doubt and the fear. Oh, together we will rise to feel God's grace. The journey begins now. Inside my wings I enfold you, ever knowing who you are. A child of light, a child of love, visiting here from afar. I will hold you next to me. Let me hold you. You can let go. You can let go. Together we will rise to feel God's grace. The journey is now. Inside my wings I enfold you, ever knowing who you are. A child of light, a child of love, visiting here from afar. My child, you're visiting, you're visiting, you're visiting.